Ladies and gentlemen, Athens under siege. You can see off in the distance the siege towers and the crimson red of Rome push forward. The Athenians already begin feeling the wrath of their massive ballistas that are just launching massive explosive pots at the walls, and you can see them here to begin doing some damage to their units. But the Athenians will do everything that they can to hold. But they are already under increasing amounts of heavy fire here, being knocked back from their positions. Some of these men will never get up or see the light of day again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sacking of Athens. If you guys are looking forward to this one and would like to see more like it in the future, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like and sub button, and here we go. Let's get this thing rolling. So, just as I said before, Rome is beginning to open up heavily with some of that artillery attack, also hitting some of the houses in the back, which over time will do some morale debuffs to the Athenian units. The more and more city damage that happens, the more and more morale debuffs that will happen. You can see men being thrown from the walls already by those explosive pots, but also you can see the fort damage at 49%, those explosive pots doing damage to those walls, as well as these massive lumbering siege towers continue to push up. And you can see the explosive pots flying overhead, the explosives hitting the walls. Things are going to be getting very, 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 very tough for Athens here. They have two armies stationed here, and Rome is attacking with two armies. So this is a fairly balanced battle, but you can see, oh man, these pots are just going to be an issue for Athens if they cannot continue to hold this wall. Things are going to get very, very bad for them. A lot of their men just getting thrown back and getting back up, but every single time that they get hit by those explosive pots, it does start to trickle out with damage for them. And you can see, but pots like that one are going to be and that one there are going to be the ones that are doing a lot of damage as the front of the wall now falls. You can see that the fort wall is at 70% damage. This slinger unit now down to 111 men and constantly taking more casualties. As more and more explosive pots continue to fall in here, they begin to fall back from this section of the wall. Another massive hit there from one of those pots, landing excellently, burning many, many men alive. And you can see just a continuous onslaught of explosives flying into them here. Absolutely devastating. There goes another man flying off the wall. There goes another one there. And like I was saying before, a lot of these men will get up, but you can see that the walls are already becoming littered with bodies of men that will never stand again, that will never see the light of Athens again, but they must hold. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Athens must hold. Rome has come to their home city state to burn it to the ground. And you can see just how many of these picked hoplites are already being gunned down off the wall. Absolutely devastating. And more of those pots flying into the wall. This wall sitting at 97% damage, so just a little bit more and this section of the wall will fall. But here it comes. The Roman legions, the Praetorian Guard pushing forward here to rip down the wall, joined by some Hastati here, I believe. No, some Triarii pushing forward. And you can see now the fire has turned to this section of the wall here. Men up on this section now under constant bombardment. You can see that there is a couple units laying dead here, but that is not from the giant ballistas. That is from these units right here, these Roman polybolos. These things just firing a tremendous amount of arrows through the air, cutting down those men on the wall very, very, very efficiently. But also up top, you can see that's where a lot of it is. So right now, those polybolos in the back staying silent until maybe a little bit later in the battle. But the ones on top of the siege towers gunning down a lot of these men that are going to be sitting here trying to hold it. You see a lot of those casualties. That is what they are coming from. The top of those siege towers. And now We are starting to see that the slingers are opening fire onto the siege towers here. Not going to be getting a whole lot from opening onto the siege towers, but a whole, my goodness. Kobe! Oh my goodness. A nice hit going onto that unit of not thorax swordsmen. What were those? Were those picked hoplites? Oh, nope. There's a unit appearing. Thorax swords, yep. So, thorax swordsmen looking like they are moving onto the wall to defend against these units of Praetorians as the siege towers get closer, ladies and gentlemen. More and more explosives now flying in at these thorax swords holding this section of the wall. You can see that there is some mercenary Thracian warriors moving to defend this broken part of the wall. Now moving off of it as explosive pots come flying in from up above. Will any of them prove fruitful? Yes, this one does, throwing a man off the walls and throwing him to his death. Absolutely beautiful attacks here across the entire front, and things are starting to look up and up and up for Rome as more and more men just continue falling to the might of those explosive pots, buildings taking damage. Things are looking good, and it looks as if the first siege tower ramps are about to drop as well, and it looks to be a Praetorian Guard unit is going to be the first one to drop here in just a second, getting up to the wall. And okay, hold on. Lots happening here. So you can see over there in the distance, the wall has fallen. The first ramp has fallen as well. The Praetorians come charging out into these thorax swords. Roman shields now interlocking up on this wall and charging forward back over where this wall just fell. You can see that a lot of thorax swords were still sitting up on that wall. So taking heavy casualties, that thorax swordsman unit from that wall collapsing there. Also now picked hoplites pushing over to fill in the gap to make sure that Romans don't just charge in there like Roman cavalry to charge in and absolutely decimate some of their back lines. Now the Romans switching to some stone shot here to maybe go a little bit more accurate with their shots. Back over to this left flank, we have 3 siege towers, still a decent ways back. The battering ram still a decent ways back as well from reaching that gatehouse. The gatehouse does have oil capabilities, so that is going to be a rough one for these men indeed as they continue to push forward. The Praetorians now jumping into the walls and engaging these Athenians up here. Trying to get a good camera angle. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so Praetorian Guard engaging against some of these thorax swords, and you can see pushing them back hard here. Pushing him back to the edge of the wall. Oh man, he's going crazy on this one thorax swordsman. Finally gets him down, but pushing completely and utterly difficulty. Or the pushing difficulty for Rome is going to be hard up here on these walls. These thorax swords are going to hold till the last man. But yeah, these Praetorian Guard are definitely a worthy adversary. And over on the center, we now see that the ramps have dropped and the Praetorians are leaking in. And for now, it does not look like Rome is sending anything into the gaps. They are just they have a couple units back here in reserve to send into that gap at a later date, but for now they are going to just sit back and chill out. Slingers also slinging rocks up onto the walls, taking out some of these rear units here as the Praetorians absolutely butcher a unit of unprotected slingers. Athens needs to, I think they need to fall back off the walls at this point. The walls are kind of a lost cause for them. They're just losing so much men up on the walls. Also on the far left flank for Rome, they have finally made it to the walls with some of their siege towers. Looks like one of them has taken a decent amount of fire damage, but for the most part doing good. Also the gatehouse now battered down, I believe, by Rome. Right? No, it hasn't even taken any damage yet. It's just open. What are these Praetorians doing? Okay, now they're battering it down. No, it's opening. I'm so confused. Anyways, Praetorians up on the wall on the left flank as well, and continuing to put up a nasty fight for this wall. Athens will do their best to hold. Has some light peltists fighting up here. Also some slingers up, trapped up on the walls as well. Actually, no, they could get down quickly from that ladder, so not trapped completely. Javelin men also having a great angle at taking out a lot of these Praetorian guardsmen. Having a nice soft side attack angle there. We'll see how many they can actually take down. Over in the middle where we originally saw that this wall begun taking some damage, Rome has secured it. Rome has secured the center for the wall here for their three-pronged attack. They have also secured the right flank as well and are now butchering the Athenians, trying to take this tower right here. They have already neutralized it, which is good. But they are doing their best to push down this ladder and Praetorian Guard against Thorax Swords. The Thorax Swords, although a very good unit, are no match for the Praetorians up here on the wall. So now you can start to see that Rome is moving some of their units. They have some African elephants back here waiting in reserve. I think they will probably push those elephants through this gap sooner rather than later. Also some Balearic slingers throwing some rocks at these picked hoplites. So now they are moving back from that position. And also Rome fighting for this gatehouse now as well. The men that came up these siege towers now charging over there, and here we go. We see that the first cohort charging forward. This is such a badass unit. I mean, look at these guys. Charge into the breach. No, go into the breach, lads. Into the breach. Let's go. Javelins flying overhead. Into the breach. Come on, boys. Into the breach. And look at that, charging forward here. And now they have their first look on what Athens looks like. And now they charge forward into some of these mercenary Thracian warriors for the first massive fight of this game. Praetorian Guard not too far behind, along with those African elephants that I was talking about earlier. It looks like Rome is going to try to overwhelm here in the center. So now let's head back over to the left flank, where we do start to see that Athens is starting to crumble up on the walls. So like I said, Athens kind of seems like their situation up on the walls is a little bit of a losing situation at the moment. So I think they need to fall off the walls and just kind of hold choke points. Like maybe hold here, hold this choke point, or hold this choke point, and hold this choke point. Like if you're going to decide to put a unit in here, hold here, hold here, hold here, right? Like hold choke points, or hold here, and hold here. They need to get off those walls. They can counter any enemy archers that are up on the walls, but they cannot. What is this unit doing all the way back here? But they cannot hold up on the walls anymore, especially when a lot of the units that are left are some Hippias Lancers, which again, use those Lancers. I'd have them back here and probably this victory point here and just use them. Like, just charge down units here. You have some spear gladiators that you can charge down. Or, like I said, hold, like, at this choke point and use them to just charge into the rear of the Romans. But the Romans have taken the walls. No Athenians are left on the walls except a couple here and there units like these slingers that are going to get absolutely butchered here in a second. Yeah, no, they're going to get slaughtered. But so that's really it for the Athenian forces left up on the walls. The Romans have completely taken the right flank up on the walls. These thorough spears have been surrounded and are now being cut down in the masses. And it is just every single second that goes by for Athens is another losing second. They've lost the walls and are now falling back off the walls. Oh man, just not looking great. Not looking great at all for Athens. They have committed some of their cavalry into the fight here. I hope that these aren't these Hippias Lancers. Well, I guess you need every man you can get at this point. Yes, across the front things are going well for Athens, especially, actually no, let me rephrase. Things are going well for Rome. That's what I meant to say. Athens is beginning to hold, like I said, at those choke points though. Right here, picked hoplites set up and thorax swordsmen set up to just delay Rome right here, because they do have some reinforcements. And like I said, They have some decent reinforcements back here. Mercenary Thracian warriors, some thorax swords and stuff like that. Now committing some of their mercenary Thracian warriors over to this left flank. But the middle has collapsed for Athens. So now those African elephants can turn free. And what do African elephants like to do? Well, let me tell you. They like to absolutely disrupt the back lines. And, oh yeah, what is it that they're about to go do? Absolutely disrupt Athens' lines on their left flank here. Yeah, look at this. Just, hey guys, how's it going? It would be a real shame if I just crashed into your lines and completely disrupted them, right? Boom! Look at that. Absolute line disruption here. African elephants, welcome to the fight. I believe that there's another unit back here. Yes. So this unit is also going to be moving over to this right flank to continue to try to help break through these Athenian picked hoplites. And I mean, look at this. Absolutely devastating. Absolutely devastating. Let's go check back on this far flank where Rome is still continuing to try to push forward. Javelins opening up on this rear picked hoplite unit. These levies probably won't get too many kills, especially with the formation that these picked hoplites are in. But every kill counts. Now the levies charging in against some picked hoplites. Alongside some Praetorians, Triarii, Vigiles, and some more Praetorian Guard. The Spear Gladiators went over here, captured this tower. Great move. Some extra supporting fire now happening. What in the world? Some Athenian javelin men climbing up the siege tower. Interesting tactics. Very interesting tactics. But yeah, so Athens is doing what I said. Hold choke points. So they're holding right here. They're holding right here. And they're holding right here. Now, one of these flanks falls. Things are going to look very bad for them later on in this fight. African elephants continuing to just decimate these Athenian lines. I mean, look at these things. That is just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And in the back, we do see that we have some Tarentine cavalry trying to help out with some javelin throws here. But if they want to help out, they should really honestly be throwing into those elephants. Because what they're throwing at some Syrian archers up here, and they're not going to get too many kills on these guys, especially up on the walls. They're just going to continuously get decimated like they are. Down to 34 men. Who is throwing at them or shooting at them? Some Balearic slingers. Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. This Tarentine cavalry taking lots of casualties at this point, down to 34 men. Back over by these elephants. The elephants now completely surrounding these picked hoplite units, and they're just being thrown around. Elephants continuing on the attack here, and you can see just how heavy those picked hoplites are taking casualties right now. These elephants at 90. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at those kills just rising up there. Absolutely brutal. 100. Look at how fast those kills are rising. Oh my goodness. Elephants, chill out. Oh, they have a family, elephants. They have a family. So those elephants combining for well over 200 kills at this point. And the center is holding. Center is still holding. Now the thorax sword starting to waver a little bit. Probably just due to casualties, because Rome is pushing very, very hard here. Oh, look at that. There's the first cohort, boys. Still fighting. Still fighting the good fight. Just a barbaric fight happening there. I wonder what will be the first flank to fall. We got some spear gladiators. Wait, this is an all-woman unit. Oh, that's sick. They're kind of just sitting here right now. They're exhausted, so I think they're just waiting to regain their exhaustion. But if I had to guess, it's going to be this right flank for Athens. It's going to be the first to fall. 4-5 units pressing up against one unit of picked hoplites. Now the spear gladiatresses are now pushing over to help as well. If they do end up committing to this fight, these picked hoplites are going to be completely surrounded on all sides, and that will break them instantly. And here they go, committing. So just like I said, committing here, picked hoplites now going to be surrounded on all sides. These guys' morale is going to disappear. They're confident, attacked in the rear. You can see that their morale is depleting, though. Completely surrounded on all sides. They will begin to take casualties a lot quicker as well. You can see that they're tricking down about a unit every, I'd say, 5 seconds or so. So over time, this unit is going to deplete very, very quickly. Yeah, it's just gonna be tough for them. Very, very tough. Like, I know these spear gladiatrices are not very good, but just having that flanking attack is going to be big for Rome. Very, very big to break through over there. But actually, it looks like the left flank is the one that crumbles first. This flank over here is the first to crumble. It is almost completely fallen apart at this point. African elephants really just putting down the pain here. 213 kills. That is nuts. Looks like one unit did die, though. Or just start taking heavy casualties. Oh, yeah. The Tarentine cavalry started to focus them down a little bit late at this point in the battle, but... You know, I guess anything helps. At any point, I guess taking down elephants helps. But Rome overwhelming the center now. You can see just how many units they've committed to the center. Now committing cavalry into the center as well to just try to break through over there. The right flank for Athens now looking very, very thin. These picked hoplites are taking heavy, heavy damage. Now down to steady for morale. Just not good at all. The steady for morale is going to be the biggest issue here. Once this morale breaks, this right flank is going to fall. These units are going to be able to push behind and hit these units in the rear and just completely surround them there, and that will be devastating. Over on this flank, it looks like Athens has committed the last of their reserves. All they have left is some skirmisher cavalry and their generals that are in the way back holding the town center. So committing the last of their reserves into this fight, things are not looking well for Athens at all. This flank is, oh man, this thing is crumbling fast. He's picked hoplites down to 74 men now, 73 men, just trickling down by the second. Fighting for their lives, though. Fighting for the sake of Athens. It's a very, very noble thing to do. At this stage, it does look like Athens is going to be sacked. Picked hoplites now shaken, wavering now. Absolutely horrible for them. Especially at this stage in the battle. To be wavering is not at all what you would like to see out of this unit. But Athens just couldn't hold. Just could not hold. Now shattered from the battlefield. This right flank is completely free to do whatever now. And this is a lot of men free to go wherever. A lot of them exhausted, but going to continue on. And if they go to surround the center, that is going to be devastating. But it looks like a lot of them are actually moving maybe this way to go for the town center. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But over on the far flank here, Athens still holding. Committing that fresh unit of thorax swordsmen is proving to be a very, very good addition. And much needed here. But they are not having a good exchange rate here. They've lost more men than they've killed. So, not very good, especially against exhausted Praetorian units. I mean, these guys are exhausted. So, just not really the best. And oh my gosh, look, they just have more and more men sitting in the back. They have auxiliary infantry, Praetorians, Praetorian guard. They have levies. They have more Praetorian. They just have so much men still standing around. Athens just falling apart in this one. And now we're starting to see that Praetorians moving in to surround the Athenians here. These men waiting to rest up. But it looks like Skirmisher Cav gonna maybe commit a little bit here. See what they end up doing. Where are they going? Ooh, are they going to try to double surround these Praetorians? I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting here taking fire from the archer towers. Do they have any ammo left? I don't know, but right now they're just sitting here taking casualties. And, hey, they're just eating archer fire. Yeah, I don't know about that one, boss. But the Praetorians now that did end up surrounding these these Athenians here, just devastating to the morale. The right flank or the left flank for Athens, right flank for Rome is looking very, very good for Rome. They look moments away from snapping it. The thorax swords are doing everything that they can to hold at this point, but they are already in steady for morale. Oh man, just too little, too late. I mean, this is a great angle for these javelins, but just way too little, way too late. You would have needed a lot more of this a lot earlier on in the battle to make any kind of major difference. But yeah, Rome just has so much units left. That skirmisher cavalry is gone, absolutely obliterated. The levy is attacked in the rear, little scaredy cats. Skirmisher cav fighting to the last man. And yeah, just oh my god, these archer towers are still shooting them. That's brutal. Oh, the oil is dumping on those Athenians as they try running out. Because this is a Roman wall now. That's priceless. Absolutely priceless. A taste of their own medicine. But yeah, no, this massive pocket of Athenians that is completely trapped by these Praetorians at this point. Just getting slaughtered. Just getting butchered slowly but surely. Over on the far flank here, Rome just completely broken through now. Some picked hoplites. Whoa, where did those guys come from? They're two fresh units of picked hoplites. Looks like elephants came back here to attack but got butchered. So yeah, fighting these fresh units of picked hoplites now. Rome is going to do their best to push through here. Look at this, Praetorian Guard at 231 kills with 70 men left. Absolutely insane. But reinforcements now coming in form of those gladiatresses and some vigils for these Praetorians that did surround the enemy. Or did surround their enemy. And at the same time, men pushing towards the town center to try to finish this thing off. But another fresh unit of picked hoplites. Looks like a lot of these guys were stationed way over here probably. And then they just came down off the wall, went all the way around back here. Or maybe they were up top here defending this point. I don't know what point that is, but coming down from up there off the wall. And yeah, I mean, just look at this absolute slaughter. Picked hoplites now breaking with over 100 men left. Their morale is just gone. Their armies are shattered. The center is now completely shattered. And yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of this one here. Rome ends up sacking Athens, and it wasn't even close. Rome just absolutely demolishes Athens in this one. So if you guys did enjoy this one and would like to see more like it in the future, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like and sub button, guys, and of course, I will see you all next time. Peace!